Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it is late tonight, the day before Mother's Day. Um, Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can get this set up. Okay. Today, guys, on Mother's Day Eve, I just wanted to do something a little different. And what I've decided to do, since and this has been, my spirit has put this on my mind, and it's been on my mind for months to do this. And what I'm calling this is the Tarot Spirit Art Journey. And I hope that you guys will hang in there with me, and we can figure this out together. So what's happening is, as you know, I don't know if you guys know, but I do art. I'm an artist. And as I delve more into tarot, like during the pandemic and that kind of thing, it seems like many of us are now, hi Sharon, many of us now, with the things that are going on and in the times that we are in, it seems that people are just stressing out all over the place, and there's a lot happening. There's a lot in the news. There's a lot of things happening overseas. There's a lot happening in our lives that's just kind of bringing us a lot of stress. So I do love reading the tarot, so this is why I'm incorporating tarot with the art. So it's called Tarot Spirit Art Journey. And trust me, you don't have to be an artist in order to participate. Okay. Thank you for being here, Sharon. And so all you're going to need is, and today, don't worry about it. This is something that I'm going to be continued. This is the first of many of these spirit art journeys. And the goal is for me to help you guys and to help myself as I go along, just try to balance out my life, gain some clarity and maybe some resolutions and that kind of thing. Delve more into my spirit, get some more spiritual growth, raise my vibration, and hopefully you guys will raise yours, and we'll just, nurture ourselves and nurture our spiritual growth and that kind of thing. And so, like I said, it's been on my mind for weeks to do this. And so now I'm going to take the journey, and I hope that many others will join me as we go along. So, if you guys have handy any kind of art supplies, like, you don't have to do it now, but I'm just saying, in the future, when I come on, we can kind of work together. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull the tarot cards, and I will pull 2 sets of tarot cards. We will see if it resonates with anyone, and I hope something resonates with you, because when I do this kind of thing, I always try to bring spirit. I do bring spirit along. So usually if someone is in the audience, and I've done this before, live webinars in buildings, when we could go into buildings and do this kind of thing and just help people just to kind of decipher what is going on with them in their lives and that kind of thing. So I decided to do it online now, since the pandemic and everything, but this will be my first one that I've done online. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to connect my other screen here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'm going to ask what it is that Spirit wants us to know right now that can help us as we decipher through these times in our lives, these hard times in our lives as we're going through right now. And I know that everyone's worried about everything, that we see in the news, and all kinds of things that are going on right now. Ukraine, what's going on with the politics in the United States and that kind of thing. And politics are all over the world. And so I just want to get some clarity from Spirit on how we can help ourselves through these times and release some of that stress, relax, and feel better about things. Because if we're just keeping all of this in all the time, and this is kind of like an art therapy kind of thing too. If we're keeping this inside ourselves all the time, it's just going to, one day we're going to explode. And we're seeing it happen all the time on the news, where people are, doing things that they wouldn't normally do. And so this is my way of helping others, and along with myself, to get through these times. And I hope that it brings you some balance back into your life, helps you to raise your vibration, relax, get some of the stress out, and that kind of thing. So we're going to do some art here as soon as and trust me, no art experience necessary. You can just watch if you want, and but if you want to, in the future, grab you maybe a journal, some drawing papers, or some just paper in general, paper bag if that's all you have, some markers, pencils, whatever, because the thing is, the process is, and it is a process, is to get out whatever it is that you're feeling that you need some relief with. And we, sometimes we don't even know it. Sometimes I pull a card and I get the moon. It's like, okay, the moon is about things that are hidden. And maybe I'm not facing something. So I will be doing this along with you guys. So, okay. So Spirit. And the first thing I would ask you guys to do is just take a deep breath. And invite whatever you think your higher source is, whatever, even if it's yourself, just take a deep breath. Relax, and ask Spirit to come in, whatever it is you believe in. Doesn't have to be what I believe in, and help you through these times. Okay, so what I think I'll do, I'm gonna pull three stacks here. So the first three cards, Spirit, what is it that you would like the collective to know right now? And I'm going to turn the cards upside down, and then we will pull them as we go along. Now, what I need you guys to do is think about this. Do you want to pick pile 1? Let me just get my wand here. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Okay? So 1, 2, and 3. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to think about what pile I want to pick, and I think I know already. Okay, so Spirit, give us health and growth, and getting in touch with our higher self, that kind of thing. No, I'm going to go ahead and take that even though it turned over. Okay. Okay, that's 1 there, 2, 3. Okay, and 1 more pile. 1 more pile. All right, 1, 2, and 3. So I hope you guys have taken a moment to think about, to just close your eyes for a minute and think about whatever number appears to you that you think that may be helpful for you. Maybe you have a special number between 1, 2, and 3, or as I turn the cards over, maybe you want to go with all 3, or maybe you want to pick one as I turn them over. Okay? All right, so the first set of cards we have here has the Hierophant. Now, he is this could even be unity, marriage. You can get into things of law, or things of maybe even spiritual, because the Hierophant is like a spiritual card. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, and we do want to get deeper into our spirit, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this. The next one that goes along with that is consciousness. So Spirit is definitely listening to us and hearing what we're talking about here. And imagination. Wow. That's a great group. I'm just going to turn another light on, guys. Excuse me for just a second. Okay. Now this first row to me tells me that you are maybe trying to connect with your higher self, because we have this Hierophant here, which is all about spirituality, and we have imagination here, and we also have consciousness. So if you pick this row, you are ready to delve into your higher self, your consciousness, if you're not already there, or maybe there's some things that you want to improve, and I'm hoping that this will help you guys. Okay, I'm looking at things backwards here. So, okay, row number 2. This is the one that I picked. Let's see what it says. Okay, it says we have the Two of Swords, determination, and violate. Wow. Okay, so it's like I'm at a crossroads, but I am determined, which is determination, to go through this path that Spirit has sent me on. And when this violate card comes in, it's like, I guess at some points in my life, maybe that is some kind of things that I felt that's happened to me that I need to, and it's not like the first thing we hear when we hear the word violate is that we think of things of maybe the sexual nature, but I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking of maybe things that I have tried to do, or things that I've wanted to do in the past, or whatever, that for some reason my spirit has been violated, and it's like stopped me from moving ahead and doing what I needed to do. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind, and I have been at a crossroads as far as trying to figure out what it is that I need to do to bring forth all of the, the creativity and that kind of thing that I have, and what I can do with this to help others. Like I said, I've done this kind of thing before, but doing it online in this manner is new for me. So I think that what I'm going to have to do is learn how to not let others violate my space, and how I feel about what it is that I need to do, or what it is that I want to do for myself, and how I want to help others to help themselves. So these cards are here. So if you pick group 2, that's you. And we'll get more into other things as we go along. Now, group 3, we have the 4 of Cups. Now, this is about boundaries. We have creativity, and we have weary. Now, this can be, the 4 of Cups is it's about boundaries, but it's also, 4s are about boundaries. But it can also be about feeling disappointed about something, because it's usually Spirit is, you've had 4 cups, 3 of them didn't work out, but then you have another cup that Spirit has given you. And sometimes we're not paying attention to that. So you could be someone that has more coming, but you're not opening your eyes to what's going on. Maybe you're too focused on everything else. You know, what's going on TV, what's going on in the world. This is where we want to bring you back to center, to yourself, so that you get what you need to take care of yourself. You know, it's like they say on the plane, when you're on a plane, you can't help anyone else until you put your mask on and take care of yourself. And you've been worried about this. There's something that you have tried and now you're feeling a little worried about it because maybe you tried 3 times and you're not, Spirit is still handing you another cup here to do what you need to do, and you're not focusing like you should. Okay, and then we have creativity. So it's something that you want to create. It's something that you want to create, maybe that you have kind of given up on, you've been disappointed about. So now is the time that we're going to bring that back into balance as we work on this. So I'm going to put this third group here. Okay. If I can get the cards to set up here correctly. Okay. Let's make it so you can see that word weary. Okay. Of course, there's some little kinks that I'm going to have to figure out as we go along. Like I said, this is my first one doing online. Okay, so now, this is what I have. I have scissors, paints, brushes, and we're just going to go through a little demonstration today. I have just some things art stuff that I've worked on that I'm going to include in this. I have, hi Trisha, how are you? I'm also, I have a journal. We're doing spirit art today. I am going to do that reading. But just tonight I've had some other readings in the middle, some other things to do on Trisha, but I will do that reading. And it will be on the channel. But I hope you will join us for the Tarot Spirit Art Journey. Okay, so now, like I said, no art experience necessary. So if you want to draw, I have a magazine here that I take things out of, and I cut and paste things out of. You can see that it's well used. That kind of thing. All kinds of papers. If you just want to draw markers, that kind of thing. These are things that I just painted myself. But we want to get you to the point where you are learning how to release some stress. Now, I want to show you something that I've been working on, and I'm going to show you how I work through some of the things that when I get a little bit frustrated about. And this is an art journal that I've made from scratch. And what I do is I put things in it that, that maybe have bothered me or that kind of thing. It's like an envelope journey, and that I go through and I stick little things in, and paintings, that kind of thing. Some of the photography that I've done, and I don't know if you can see it. And I stuff in here, just different things that I put in the. It's a little painting. That's a little booklet painting that I've done. Okay, so anyway, this is just to give you a little demonstration. Now we're gonna work through one of these pages right now today, because I picked number 2. Which is about the Two of Swords, being at a crossroads. What am I at a crossroads about? About this. So, what I want to do is I'm going to take a pen right now. And I know that I want to release the feeling of, I want to do what Spirit asked me to do, and which is help others as I help myself here. So I am going, and I hope you guys can, I think you can see what I'm doing here. But the first words that came to my mind as I thought about this is help others to help themselves as I help myself. Okay? So, just a second here, guys. Okay, so I'm taking a black pen here and I'm just going to write help. And you can just do little scribblies or whatever, others. You can write this as many times. This is just how I'm doing it now. When you do it, whatever row you, whatever section you pick there, you figure out a way to do it the way you want to do it. But this is just for relaxation. And it's for you. Remember that it's for you. It's not for anybody else, because you want to get, you want some spiritual growth, and you want to get in touch with your higher self. Okay? You want to relax. You want to figure out, you know, what it is that's one of these tarot cards, or maybe all of them, brought up something that touched you that you maybe need to work on in your life. So it's kind of like a art therapy kind of thing. And like I said, I've done this before in regular buildings when I could. Okay, so what else I'm going to do with this is just do some little squigglies. You know, just release. Just whatever you need to do to release. You don't have to use black. You don't have to use ink. You can use a pencil. You can marker, crayons, whatever you have on hand, okay? All right, now, what I'm going to do now after this is I'm going to use a little bit of paint here. Dab my brush in some water, and I'm using blue paint here. These are my paint colors here that I'm using tonight. And I'm just going to put some paint on here. Now, you don't have to do just whatever you feel. When I make art, and that's one of my bigger paintings in the back that I've made, and I'm an award-winning artist, so I do show in some places, and my work is kind of in places in people's homes all around the world. But anyway, what I wanted to say is when I make art, I tap into spirit. I have no idea what's going to come to me as I'm doing it. And this is how I want you guys to work too as you work. Don't worry about what's going on the paper and how it's going on the paper. Just try to stay in touch with spirit, because this is all about you releasing some of those things that's going on that's keeping you trapped. Now see, this is me. I'm at a dilemma as far as at a crossroads, because spirit kept saying to me, do it, do it, do it. You can help others, do it. You can help people release their stress and that kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. But you know how it is when spirit nags, it's like, you better move. So that's what I decided to do. So right now, this is what I have right now, guys. And you can see this is not much. But what I'm going to do, this is a piece of art a piece of canvas that I used before to make, and I'll show you this handbag. Okay, this is handmade, all handmade handbag here, and this is something I had left over from it. I never throw away any scraps when I'm doing art, so this came from that piece, from that handbag that I made. So I'm just going to take a piece of this, Maybe I'll take something with a little, I need a little more black, I think. And I'm following Spirit's directions. That's all I'm doing, guys, here. I need this little dot right here. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I think I like that. Okay, now I had cut out some things out of the magazines, and this is a word that I cut out that says, where is the camera here? It says like. It's hard to see because it's dark. But this is something that I might put in here. You know, these are positive things. As you go along and you know, depending on whatever it is that you decided that you want to stress, to bring out your feeling. Now, this piece of paper here, I cut out the magazine. I'm just gonna stick that there. Now you can see I'm covering up some of my words, but that's okay. I like to layer. I like lots and lots of layer. Now I don't know if it's going to be exactly like this when I end up, because you know, I'm just laying it out right now, but who knows. I'm going to use a piece of this canvas here that I painted for something else. I don't remember what. But I think this would be a nice sun up in here. So I'm going to cut this out, make this a little sun. You guys have any questions while we're working here? While I'm working, I hope you guys will, you know, come back the next time I do one, be a little more prepared. You know, if you like, now this, if you like doing this kind of things, I always cut myself off when I'm talking. I have so many things going through my head that it's like, okay, you didn't finish that sentence. But I was going to say that this is the kind of thing you like doing. You can always journal. You know, you can just write things in a journal, how you're feeling about certain things that are going on in the news and that kind of thing, or how you're just feeling about your life, you know. Today, I didn't think that I was going to do this because I ran around and went to a birthday party and that kind of thing. And it was fun, but, you know, you got to get all dressed up and you know, you got to mingle with the people and all that kind of thing. And I got home, I was really tired. And you know what, I started this earlier, and I didn't push the record button. And I'm like, so I said, I'm doing it today because this is my Mother's Day gift treat to everyone, all the mothers out there. Maybe, hopefully, they will see this, some of the mothers, and it will help them to release some stress, because if you're dealing with everything that's going on in the world and your children too, that's a lot of work, that's a lot of stress. And so anyway, that's my little son. Now, will it stay like that? Not sure. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna lay it. I don't like that anymore. See, just that quick, I pulled a piece out I didn't like. Okay, these are some ladies that I painted right here, guys. So I'm gonna take one of these ladies and I'm gonna fit her in because she's red. And I think that, well, they're red. I'm just gonna take one. I think that they will be a good addition to the piece. This will help me remember that I did this on a Mother's Day. Because as you journal, I mean, you don't have to have a journal as you do your art journal. You can just do like pages, like a paper bag, like I said, just some paper, and just start painting, just start doodling. Just do whatever it is that you need to do to bring you some, a release. You know, depending on what tarot card group you picked, that's what you want to work on. Now this one, this lady here that I got here reminds me of that tarot card that I picked for myself, which is the tarot cards with the woman holding the two swords up, and where is it? I think she fell. Yeah, at a crossroads. And as you can see, this lady here, she has her hands up. I hope you guys can see that. I always get confused with this camera here. Okay, so I'm going to add her. Okay, let's see. Any comments, anyone? Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Okay, so I'm just going to cut her out nicely, as evenly as I can. And these are things that I just had laying around. You know, as an artist, I'm always working. And I always got things. Now, see, I hope you guys can see that. I got her kind of holding up the sun there. These have got to be glued down as I go along. But, you know, like I said, you can do other words, you know, whatever came to you as you were picking your group of cards. So she's holding up the sun there. See, already I'm feeling better because, you know, the sun is there and you are holding that sun up. You know, the sun is very important, of course, as we all know. And then here's my like sign that's right next to it. Maybe I should be working backwards. Actually, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to move these because I think everyone saw those already. And if you didn't, you can kind of go back and look at the tape and the reading that I did, the tarot reading that I did with those. So I need to move these out of the way so that I have a little more room for the art, so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. So, as I said, I picked group 2, and one of the things is that I feel like I'm at a crossroads, and this is what Spirit gave me. And I work intuitively. So, I had the lady here holding her hands up like the two of swords is, you know, when you're at a crossroads, when you're trying to figure things out and you don't know which way to go and that kind of thing. And I didn't, you know, as I did this tonight, like I said, I made a video and then I thought I had taped it and I didn't, but it wasn't ready for me to do. I didn't have the kinks worked out. And I still don't. We're going to learn how to do this all together. Like I said, my first time doing it online, although I have done workshops in person. But this is just for you to get out whatever it is that you need to get out. And so that you're not so stressed. We're going to release some of that stress, and we're going to get in touch with spirit and our higher selves and that kind of thing. And we're going to feel a lot better, you know, because we got to get we got to do some kind of distressing. I'll be right back, guys. I need a paper towel. But we need to do some distressing things. And I hope that you guys will follow me as I go along here, and you will learn how to dig deep. I'm just going to put a few dots on here. This is what I'm trying to do, but I see that my blue paint has dried up on me. This is from my first time I did it, and I was like, okay, I wasn't ready. Okay. And so now what I'm going to do, like I said, I work intuitively. So guys, whatever you do, don't think that you have to be someone that's did art already, that's, you know, that kind of thing. This isn't about creating a masterpiece. This is about getting out your frustrations and just relaxing. I'm going a little fast now because I'm trying to get things in for you guys. But normally, if I was just doing this, I would have stuff all over the place. I would be. It looks neat right now. I would be throwing stuff everywhere. So, but in a relaxing way, because when you start doing this, now I have my gold. I'm just going to go through here with some gold. When you start doing this kind of thing, you have to be patient with yourself. And sometimes you may not like it. It's okay. That's why I have these pieces here that I showed you, that I showed you guys. They work perfect for art journals and that kind of thing. These pieces that I didn't like the way they turned out for the specific project that I was working on, I just held on to them. So it's okay if there's some things. This is looking like the flag, the American flag now. In a sense, to me. But it's okay if you run into some things that you just don't like. Just keep it for another time. For something else. You can use it for something else. But like I said, you can go to the dollar store, get you some paints. Go to the dollar store, get some paints, get some paper, some journals, that kind of thing. And I'll give her some dots. But as long as you're playing, you're having fun, you're doing some things that, make you feel good. This is what you want to do. You want to relieve some of that stress that's going on. Trying to think of what else I want to put on this page. Oh, I know what I want to put on this page. I'm going to do a stamp. And this is just some little flowers and that kind of thing. Just going to stamp it. And you can always work on more than one thing at a time. My stamper. So, if I'm doing something like this, I will have like 2 or 3 projects going at a time. Let's see if I got enough on here. Oh, that gave me a little bit. I think I'm going to do it a different way. You can always improvise. There's always improvising, guys. You don't have to do it the way you're told to do it. You do it the way that... I don't think this is... And I ran out of... I just want a couple of flowers. Let's see. See if this works. Well, I got a little bit. I think I need some more ink though, and I'm not going to get up to go get it. Let's see if I can get it with my paint here. Let's try this. And get it to come out better. Oh, kind of made a mess there. That's why I like to use the ink, but that's okay. It'll dry. Sometimes you think you made a mess, you think you got a problem, but when you're all done, it's perfect. Okay, now that needs to dry. So as we're letting that dry, does anybody have any questions about what we're doing? And maybe, what do you think? Do you think this will help some of you maybe de-stress a little bit? let's see, what else do I want to do here? I think that's it for now, because that does have to dry, and it's getting late, but I'm gonna glue these down so that the next time that when I come back, you guys will see it all done. There was one other thing that I wanted to just give you guys a little, like this little booklet here. These are just things, this is some of my art that I did, but like I said, it's just you're putting it in. These are things that I made that were big pieces that I saved. And there's writing here, which is, like I said, you guys, you can start doing some writing on pieces and that kind of thing. Just all kinds of things that I made. I'm always into the eye kind of thing. That's the eye. And some more of my work there. But what I did was I ended up, this is a little small, tiny little journal. But it was one of those things that I could use to distress and that kind of thing. So this is just a little journey that I hope you guys will be interested in going on with me. And like I said, I will be doing my normal readings also, but this is just something that you can use that I'm hoping that will help everyone just take a minute and distress from all the things that are going on in the world today. So thank you guys so much for being here with me. Leave if you have any comments about anything that's going on, or anything that you might want me to talk about, even art related or tarot related. Put it down in the comments. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you're seeing here. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Probably I will see you. So you all have a good day. As a matter of fact, have a good Mother's Day. Thank you so much for being here. Bye now.